Have you ever been playing a fantasy game and just wished the danger felt a little more real? That your choices actually had some weight to them? Well, today, we're going to dig into RedelfWorld, a tabletop RPG that is built from the ground up on that exact idea. A gritty, high-stakes adventure where something called plot armor just doesn't exist. And this right here, this is the game's mission statement. It tells you everything you need to know. This is not a game where you're playing some untouchable superhero. It's about creating a story where your decisions matter, where the risks are very, very real, and you have to live with the fallout of your actions.
So you might be wondering, how does it actually create that grounded feeling? Well, RedelfWorld is built on what it calls the 3 pillars of gameplay, and they all work together to create this really rich, character-focused experience.
So pillar number 1 is adventure and exploration. And here, survival is everything. You've actually got to worry about your supplies, the terrain, the weather. It's not just about finding treasure. Then you've got social intrigue. This means you're not just hacking and slashing, you're playing politics, you're building a reputation, and you're dealing with factions. And the last piece of the puzzle is personal drama. The story isn't about some epic prophecy. It's about your character's goals, their fears, and the relationships they build.
Okay, so to jump into a world this tough, you're going to need a character, right? Let's walk through how you actually build your hero. The process is really straightforward and is designed to take you from a basic idea to a full-fledged adventurer in no time.
It really boils down to just 4 main steps. First, you just come up with a concept. Who are you? Then, you build their potential with attributes. After that, you pick a profession to define their role, and finally, you get to add all the fun details. So let's start with that foundation, because the attributes are where it all begins.
Now, these 6 stats are basically the engine of your character. You'll see the Swedish terms there, like STY for styrka, which is just strength. This is your raw talent, from physical might to mental sharpness. You get 10 points to play with when you start, but you can't put more than 3 in any single stat. And the reason they do that is to make sure you start with a character who feels balanced, good at some things, but with plenty of room to grow.
All right, after you've got your stats, you pick your heritage, your people. Each one gives you a little tweak to your attributes and a really cool special talent. So who are you going to be? The super adaptable human? Maybe the graceful sharp-eyed elf? Or how about a tough-as-nails dwarf with literal stone skin? Or, hey, maybe you're the lucky halfling who can talk their way out of anything.
Think of your profession as your starting toolkit, your job title. This is what you do. It gives you a handful of skills right out of the gate and defines your role in the group. Are you going to be the warrior, the one on the front lines holding things down, the mage, controlling the battlefield with magic, the scout, finding the way forward, or the thief, getting into places you're not supposed to be? It just gives you a focus right from the start.
Okay, let's shift gears and talk about the rules. And this is where RedelfWorld gets, I think, really clever. See, instead of having a million different rules for a million different actions, they boil it all down to one single, elegant system.
Right. So, how do you actually do anything? It doesn't matter if you're trying to climb a sheer cliff, haggle with a stubborn merchant, or cast a complicated spell. The way you figure out if you succeed, well, it's always the same. Everything, and I mean everything, comes down to what's called a skill check. It's simple. You take your natural talent, that's your attribute. You add your trained skill. Then you roll a 20-sided die and add it all up. It's this perfect mix, right? A little bit of luck from the die, a little bit of who you are innately, and a little bit of what you've learned to do.
And there it is, that simple little formula right there. That's the entire engine of the game. You roll the die, add your bonuses, and if your total meets or beats a target number that the game master sets, you succeed. That's it. It's so fast, so simple, but you can use it for absolutely anything.
But here's a really cool twist. Success isn't just binary. It's not just a yes or a no. The game cares about how well you succeeded. They have this thing called an effect margin. Basically, for every 5 points you crush that target number by, you get to do something extra. Maybe you deal a ton more damage, or you gather some extra info, or you pick that lock so fast nobody even notices. So let's take that system and apply it to the most high-stakes part of any adventure game, combat. And yeah, true to its core vision, combat in RedelfWorld is not for the faint of heart. It's designed to feel gritty, dangerous, like every single blow has real weight behind it.
The most important thing to get your head around here is that there are 2 kinds of health. You've got vitality points, or VP. Think of this as your stamina, your luck, your ability to turn a deadly hit into a scrape. It's a buffer, and you get it back pretty easily. But then you have body points, or KP, and that is real, physical damage. We're talking broken bones, deep cuts, the serious stuff, and that does not come back after a quick nap.
And when you start taking that real damage, when your body points start to drop, things get bad fast. This isn't just about your health number getting lower. Nope. You could start bleeding out, get knocked flat on your back, become dizzy, or even drop your weapon in the middle of a fight. It makes every hit feel so much more visceral and really drives home that core idea. Violence has immediate consequences.
So that really brings us full circle, back to the heart of the RedelfWorld experience. It's a straightforward system, but it's built to tell these amazing stories where the risks feel real because, well, they are real. Every single choice, from the character you build to how you act in a fight, is going to leave a mark. Which really just leaves one question, doesn't it? In a world where the consequences are this real, what choices will you make?